Welcome to World of War. Today we delve into a gripping and little-known story that could have changed the course of history forever. We're talking about how one man, Vasili Alexandrovich Arkhipov, saved the world from the brink of nuclear annihilation. Picture this, it's October 27, 1962. The Cuban Missile Crisis is at its peak. The world is on edge, teetering on the verge of a catastrophic nuclear war between the United States and the Soviet Union. The tension is so thick you can almost taste it. Far beneath the surface of the Caribbean Sea, a Soviet B-59 submarine is lurking. Aboard this submarine, the atmosphere is stifling, both literally and figuratively. The crew has been submerged for days, cut off from communication with Moscow, and they're unaware of the exact situation unfolding above. What they do know is that they're in enemy waters, and they feel the pressure, both from the water around them and from the potential threat of discovery by U.S. forces. Suddenly, U.S. Navy destroyers begin dropping depth charges around the submarine. These aren't intended to destroy, but to force the B-59 to surface. Inside the sub, it feels like the walls are closing in. The crew is exhausted, and the temperature has soared to unbearable levels. The captain, Valentin Savitsky, believes war might have already started. In this boiling cauldron of fear and uncertainty, the Soviet submarine crew faces a critical decision. They have a T-5 nuclear torpedo on board, and launching it could mean devastating consequences. Savitsky, convinced that an attack is imminent, decides to arm the torpedo. But here's the catch. To launch, they need the consent of all three senior officers on board. One of these officers is Vasili Arkhipov. Arkhipov, the 36-year-old flotilla commander, possesses a calm demeanor and a clear mind even in the face of chaos. He understands the gravity of their situation better than anyone. The fate of the world could rest on his shoulders. As tensions mount and the submarine shakes with each depth charge, Arkhipov faces an unimaginable decision. Savitsky, his face a mask of determination and fear, argues that they must retaliate, believing they have no other choice. Another officer, Ivan Maslenikov, supports him. All eyes turn to Arkhipov, the final vote. Time seems to stretch. In that crucial moment, Arkhipov's thoughts race. He knows that launching the torpedo would mean certain death for them and possibly spark a global nuclear conflict. With steely resolve, Arkhipov opposes the launch. He argues passionately for restraint, suggesting they surface and await orders from Moscow. His words cut through the tension. Slowly, reluctantly, Savitsky and Maslenikov agree. The decision is made. They will not launch the torpedo. Instead, the B-59 surfaces and they make contact with the U.S. Navy. The crisis, at least for the moment, is averted. The world above continues to hold its breath as leaders on both sides navigate the perilous path to a peaceful resolution. But it's thanks to Arkhipov's unwavering resolve that the worst-case scenario was avoided on that fateful day. In the years that followed, Arkhipov's heroism was largely unrecognized. He continued his career in the Soviet Navy and later became a deputy commander of the Kirov Naval Academy. It wasn't until much later that the full extent of his courageous decision became widely known. Today, Vasili Arkhipov is remembered as a man who, with a single decision, changed the course of history. His calmness under pressure and his commitment to humanity over destruction serve as a powerful reminder of the impact one individual can have. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the depths of one of the most critical moments in modern history. If you found this story as compelling as we do, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, so you never miss an episode of World of War. Until next time, remember that even in the darkest times, a single act of courage can save the world.